This YCN segment is brought to you by Bubba's Bar and Grill on Lake Sunapee in Newberry Harbor.
YCN Game of the Week is brought to you by La Valley Building Supply, home improvement and construction from concept to completion. Ramontos in Claremont, always fresh, always delicious. Top Stitch Embroidery, the best for your team and so much more. Lowen Windows of Vermont and New Hampshire, providing solution-oriented, extraordinary service before, during, and after the sale. Mascoma Savings Bank. With no shareholders to please, they are committed to remaining independent and to reinvesting profits in our community. Bubba's Bar and Grill, offering fresh salads, hearty sandwiches, brick oven pizza, entrees, and award-winning seafood chowder. Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire. MJ Harrington and Company, jewelers and designers since 1948. And by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist.
So we start the third quarter, 12 minutes up on the board. The Falcons will kick off to Hanover, and Bo with a 13-0 lead as the Marauders will receive at their own 18-yard line. And it is taken this time by Caleb Putnam, and he bangs his way out to about the 35-yard line. Let's see where they officially mark it. So Hanover will start things out, and they'll put the nose of the football right on the 35-yard line. 11:55 to go in the third. Bo up 13-7. Well, so if you're looking at for Hanover, Jeremy, what do they have to focus on?
Yeah, it's a big drive here for Hanover. Obviously going up 7-0 and then giving up 2 consecutive touchdowns. They have to get that momentum back. They have to get the flow of the game back. Keep it on the ground here. But if you get an opportunity, you know Mosenthal can air one out.
It's time to pitch back for Hanover across the 35, maybe the 36-yard line. Look like Jesse Tuttle. You know, Hanover's not looking forward. They don't look forward to going into halftime with a score this low, especially not on the opposite end. They beat Hollis Brookline last week in the playoffs, 42-21. So you mentioned Bo with the upset over Wyndham. That final score was 20-15. So a pickup of maybe 2 on the carry for Hanover brings up second down and a short 9. 11:20 to go in the third. 13-7. Bo on top. Mosenthal under center. 2 backs behind him. Delayed handoff and trying to turn the corner. Can he get there? That is Kalen Thomas, and gets strung out on the play and maybe loses about a half a yard. They will call it a loss. So Hanover right back to where they started. Well, they mark it at the 36-yard line.
Yeah, not a great run there by Thomas. He stretched to the outside, trying to get to the edge, wrapped up by one guy, and then the rest of the defense came in and tackled him. And that's one thing that Hanover has struggled to do after a successful second drive, really move the ball on the ground. So you wonder if Mosenthal might start airing it out a little more in the second half.
And as Jeremy said, Mosenthal back to pass, tucks it under at the 40, at the 45. He's got room at the 50, bounces off 1 tackler, 2 tacklers, and falls forward to the 42-yard line. A gutsy call right there, and even gutsier move back and forth. Mosenthal gets his team into Bo territory and picks up the first down.
And when you are Mosenthal and the dual threat quarterback dropping back to pass, has multiple options, and we saw it looked like Mosenthal, that was almost a pre-designed run because he didn't take much time to survey the defense. He dropped back, looked a couple seconds, and then took off the run, and the big gainer.
4th play of the drive coming up for Hanover. It's their first for this second half. Mosenthal, handoff, right-hand side, cutting it back up across the 40, trying to pull people along with him to the 39-yard line. That's Caleb Putnam after he picks up about 4.5 yards as Hanover decides to keep it on the ground with that play.
And you mentioned earlier in this drive that Hanover not used to being in such a low-scoring defensive battle. They have scored 40 or more points in 6 of their 9 games to this point. So clearly this team is a high-octane offense. They're not used to having only 7 points through 2 quarters.
Not usually looking up at the scoreboard and finding themselves down.
Right.
Second down and 7. Handoff straight up the gut into about the 35-yard line with the carry for the Marauders. And that's Simon Roach. 9:24 to go in the third. 13-7. Bo on top. Third down, and we'll call it 3 for Hanover. The nose of the football at the Bo 35-yard line. Hanover in the dark jerseys, dark pants, moving right to left. Into the wind just a bit. And remember, Salea has a strong leg, their place kicker. Handoff again up the middle and plowing forward. Is that enough for a first down? Yes. They will move the chains. As picking it up is the big guy, Caleb Putnam. And the drive continues for Hanover as now will come up to 7 plays. And they've eaten just about 3 minutes off the clock. Started at their own 35-yard line, and now they're at the Bow 36-yard line. 1st and 10.
And this is the position where they're deep in Bow territory. They need to get a score, even if it's just a field goal. We know the leg that Celaya has. He can get one, but they have to get a score here on this drive.
Back split, handoff, and taking it going up the middle once again. That's Simon Roach. Again, pushes his way forward. Gets across the 25-yard line down to about the 24, actually the 23. They'll call it 2nd and 2. You know, there's that initial contact, Jeremy, once the Hanover running back makes it to the line of scrimmage or maybe half a yard beyond that. And then it just seems like a big pile.
Yeah.
They're dragging Bow tacklers with them as the running backs for Hanover pick up another 2 or 3 yards.
Right, the holes might not be open, but the running backs are able to power through the second line of defense.
And now Mosenthal goes out on a block. It's earning the corner and picking up the first down before he's punched out of bounds. Is Caleb Putnam down to about the 19-yard line, and that is enough for another Hanover first down. So again, the drive continues. Good job by Mosenthal to get out on the block too after he pitched it off.
Yeah, unselfish there, pitching the ball, getting the block. Really all-around quarterback, and that's what you want. That's what you need at this level, Division II, to be a team undefeated, getting to semifinals after last year also getting to the semifinal. You need to have a quarterback who's a dual threat, but also a smart kid and somebody who won't be afraid to give himself up. 1st
and 10, pitch back again this time. Goes to Caleb Putnam. This time he's stacked up behind, right at the line of scrimmage. Ball's forward for maybe a gain of a half yard. Let's see where they spot it. 7:52 remaining in the third quarter. Bow 13, Hanover 7, Marauders with the football. They'll call it 2nd and 9, ball on the Bow 19-yard line. And for Hanover, the 10th play of the drive coming up. They've eaten up 4 minutes and about 20 seconds. This started at their own 35. Now they're at the Bow 19-yard line with 2nd down and 9. Mosenthal under center once again. Bow stacked at the line on defense. Mosenthal tries to keep it himself. He is wrapped up and wrestled down at the 27-yard line. Matthew Nichols with the penetration. I'm not sure Hanover laid a finger on him that time. And Mosenthal looked around and said, uh-oh, fell back, and now a big 3rd down coming up for the Marauders. 3rd and 16 from the Bow 26.
No one on the Falcons defense was fooled on that play. Mosenthal tried to do the fake handoff and then keep it himself. He kept it himself, and he kept it right into the ground. And as you mentioned, a long 3rd down. Have to get to the 10-yard line to get the first.
6:53 to go in the third. 13-7 Bow on top. Marauders with the 11th play of the drive coming up. Mosenthal back to pass, looking left, fires that way, and it's incomplete. Way over the head of Graham Penfield. And the clock stops with 6:42 to go in the third. And now a 4th down coming up, 4th and 16 for Hanover at the 26-yard line of Bow. If they bring out Celaya to try to kick it, you're looking at about a 42, 43-yard field goal.
Well, like we
with
know.
No wind.
Yeah, and we've seen he has the leg because the last time he tried it, it was wide right, about the same distance. So we know it's not the leg problem, and you're not kicking with the sun, looking at the sun.
Yeah, he missed a 40-yarder in the first half, looking into the sun with no wind. Missed it wide right. 4th and 16. Hanover's going to go for it, though. Mosenthal back to pass, looks left again, fires. He's got a man down there, and it's knocked away, and no flags. Good defense on Bow's part by Mark Borak. And the intended receiver was Graham Penfield. The two got tangled up, but the drive stalls, and Hanover turns it over to Bow at the Falcons' 26-yard line and come away empty-handed. Ooh, tough no call right there, Jeremy.
Yeah, that was a tough one there. I thought that was a pass interference call, but the refs didn't see it that way, so that's where Bow will take over at their own 26.
So a 4th and 16 goes for naught for Hanover. Falcons with it. 1st and 10, as Jeremy said, at their own 26. Pushing forward once again along the left-hand side. That's Jack Corvu. Picks up about 8 yards. 13-7, Falcons still with the lead. 6:22 and counting to play here in the third quarter. The D2 semifinals for New Hampshire football in Hanover, New Hampshire.
Tune in every week for YCN Sports Talk, focusing on our region's college and professional sports with the Salt Hill Pub Picks of the Week. And this week's Sports Wrap will feature specials on Vermont and New Hampshire high school championships in football. Check for air schedules at ycnnow.com.
Here's Harkins with it. Handoff once again. And enough for a first down, it looks like. So the drive will continue for Bo. Our thanks to Alex Dodge, our cameraman, and Greg manning the sidelines for YCN TV. Along with Jeremy Stout, I'm Dave Collins. Thanks for joining us. Hanover, the number 4 seed, undefeated 9-0 coming into this afternoon's ball game against the number 8 seed, Bo Falcons. They are 7-2, but a big upset last week at Wyndham, 20-15. I thought I was going to Southern New Hampshire when I saw that matchup, but Bo pulls the upset, looking to do the same here. They've got a 13-7 lead. Handoff again to the left-hand side, and cutting it up is Koravu. Picks up maybe 3 or 4 yards. Bo content with holding it on the ground. They've only had a couple pass plays so far in this ball game here.
Yeah, quarterback Harkins, I believe he's 1 for 2 with the one incompletion and then the completion on a big 4th down conversion. So the one completion was a big one for the Bo team and ended up setting up the touchdown.
2nd and 5 for Bo. Ball on the left hash mark, just shy of the 42-yard line in their own territory. 5 minutes to play, third quarter, 13-7. Falcons with the ball and the lead. Man in motion coming down the line. Harkins with the handoff. They'll go to the near side, trying to turn the corner. That is Kimball. Can he do it? Yes! And pushes his way forward. Oh, determination right there to pick up the first down. Jeremy, he was sideways coming towards the sideline. A little bit of bounce, a little bit of momentum. Falls forward, and no, they will not give him the first down. Oh, yes, they will. What a great reward for that young man right there.
And Mosenthal looked like he had him wrapped up in the backfield, but he kept going, and it was good enough for the hard-earned first down.
So the drive continues for the Falcons, and we know his grandfather is proud in the press box next to us for Kimball to pick up that first down. 1st and 10 for Bo at their own 47, 4:30 to go, third quarter. Handoff again, and this time Koravu, almost lost the football there. Did you see that? Sort of juggled it a bit as he came through the line, but he picks up 6 yards before he gets taken down. And finally, Bo gets into Hanover territory.
Today's game is being brought to you in part by Mascoma Savings Bank, mutually owned with no shareholders to please. If you want your local game, event, parade, or concert televised into YCN's over 200,000 households, contact us at info@ycnnow.com.
4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Bo with the football. 2nd and 4 at the Hanover 47. Going left to right into the sun. Harkins the quarterback. Split backs behind him. Koravu and Kimball. Pitch goes to Koravu. Left-hand side across the 45. Has the first down. And stays inbounds. He's tackled inbounds. And now the officials will stop the clock to move the chains. But it's enough for a first down for Bo. And again, drive moves on.
And they are really content to do this. Hand the ball off. Go left. Go right. Keep the Marauder defensive line guessing. Because Bo has really, when they've had the football, they've won that battle on the offensive line. And clock continuing to move. They started this drive at their own 26-yard line. They've really had some really successful drives today.
Taking up 3 minutes and 15 seconds off the clock so far. Harkins pitch this time to Kimball. Left-hand side across the 40 down to about the 37-yard line. Still a pile moving forward as the Falcons want a couple of more feet. With a 13-7 lead in the third and 3:07 and counting here in this Division II semifinal playoff game. That, you thought a chance for Hanover being undefeated, but 8th seed Bo, big win last week at Wyndham, and that's why they are here today.
And as you were talking about it, Hanover going 8-0 and getting the number 4 seed. Well, talk about the Bo Falcons going 7-2 and getting the 8th seed. It's really top heavy in both the North and South Division. This Bo Falcons team, you look like, they're number 8 seed. Okay, this team is playing like a top team. They got a good offense and good defensive balance.
They are neutralizing Hanover in most of the categories. Handoff this time, pushing his way forward and picking up another first down for the Falcons as they break across the 30 and down to about the 27-yard line. That's Koravu, big number 44. And we're up to the 10th play of the drive coming up right now for the Falcons.
The YCN scoreboard sponsor is LaValle Building Supply, home improvement and construction from concept to completion. and by Bubba's Bar and Grill, overlooking the beautiful Newberry Harbor on Lake Sunapee.
13-7, Bow with the football in the lead. Third quarter, 2:03 remaining. Harkins under center. And off to Corvu. Turns the corner, gets across the 20, down to the 19-yard line. A pickup of about 6 on the play for Bow. And you know the defense for Hanover is, they're thinking, can't keep sustaining this. Can't keep getting pushed back. These long drives might be wearing them out just a bit.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Just as much as the Hanover team looked like they started okay, but then the last few drives, that defensive line just keeps getting tired and more tired. And you see some of the guys on their knees there getting ready, and it takes a lot out of you when you just keep getting pounded and pounded at the line of scrimmage.
Hand off to Kimball, spins his way forward, gets to about the 16.5-yard line. It'll bring up third down and about 1. Important play call here for Bow. 1:10 to go in the third quarter. Bow 13, Hanover 7. This will be the 11th play of the drive coming up for Bow, and by the time they snap the ball, they will have had it in this possession for about 5 minutes. This drive started at their own 26-yard line. And they're down to the Hanover 17.
Very nice. Not only yardage they're gaining and play calling, but a nicely coached drive.
Yep.
Take some time and keep the Hanover team on their toes.
Harkins will just take it himself and push forward and pick up the first down. So the chains will move closer to the goal line. The clock will stop momentarily with 38.4 seconds remaining in the third. And the 12th play of the drive will come up for the Bow Falcons.
Hey, local sports fans, 94.5 ESPN's Franklin and House Sports Talk Show can be seen on YCN's WYCX Outside Television at 5 p.m. every weekday. Tune in daily and get up to date on what's happening in sports.
Special guest Jeremy Stout every once in a while.
They let me on.
I know my buddy Chuck Devine, the groomed cruiser. It's on there for Football Friday for his picks.
That's true, yes.
Fantasy Friday, 15 seconds to go, third quarter, and now a whistle and timeout is called by Bow. So that will leave them with 2 for the rest of this second half. Hanover with all 3. First and 10 for Bow. When we come back, they lead 13-7 over Hanover. 13.6 seconds to go in the third quarter. We're back after this. It's YCN's Game of the Week.
This YCN segment is brought to you by Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer.
Welcome back to Hanover, New Hampshire, along with Jeremy Stout. I'm Dave Collins. 13.6 seconds to go, third quarter. Bow with the football in the lead over Hanover, 13-7. They have it first and 10 at the right hash mark at the Hanover 15-yard line. Not going into the wind necessarily, but going into the sun. This will be the 14th play of the drive coming up for Bow right here after they just called a timeout, which leaves them with 2. Hand off and picking up maybe a yard or 2 is Kimball for Bow, and that will do it for the third quarter. The drive continues, though. Find out where it ends up for the Falcons when we come back. We're at the end of the third here in the Division II state semifinal in Hanover. It's the Bow Falcons 13, the Hanover Marauders 7. Fourth quarter action comes your way next. It's YCN's Game of the Week.